Well, hey there. Welcome to a new week and a new download with you-know-who in the captain's chair. Well, as always here, a full plate. And we're starting the week now with an end, namely the end of the so-called Long March in Pakistan and the reinstatement of a judge become political folk hero. And here he is, Judge Iftikhar Mohammed Chaudhry, surrounded by supporters at his house. Now, Judge Chaudhry was removed from office by former Prime Minister Pervez Musharraf. And now, under serious pressure from lawyers and opposition parties, he's going to be reinstated to his post of Supreme Court Chief Justice. The announcement coming Monday from a contrite Prime Minister, Josef Gulani.
Janab Iftikhar Mohammed Chaudhry Saab Samet.
I'm announcing the reinstatement of all deposed judges, said the Prime Minister, including Judge Chaudhry. The announcement appears to have defused a brewing standoff between the year-old government and opposition forces that had rallied around Judge Chaudhry's cause.
No man has had the guts to stand up and say, no, I will not listen to a military dictator. He did it. Chief Justice Iftikhar Chaudhry did it, and we salute him for this.
And the salute's pouring over into the streets as well. And with Prime Minister Gulani's announcement comes another. Organizers of the massive, quote, Long March protest have called it off for the moment. Among those, other than Judge Chaudhry, also receiving a political boost, well, many think opposition party leader Nawaz Sharif, longtime foe of President Asif Ali Zardari and leader of the protests. Meanwhile, in Pakistan's northwest border city of Peshawar, a transport terminal used by NATO forces fighting in Afghanistan was set ablaze by insurgents. The attack taking place early Monday morning, several Humvees and other equipment destroyed. This coming just one day after a similar attack Sunday at another border terminal. Now, NATO saying the attacks will have little effect on ongoing operations. Taliban militants are suspect in the attacks. An historic election this weekend in El Salvador. Joyous FMLN supporters here. And you know, they've got good reason. After years in the opposition, the FMLN, a party that began life as a Marxist rebel group, this weekend ousting the ruling Arena party after 2 decades in power. Now, the margin of victory in the presidential contest was narrow, 51 to 49%. But, you know, a win's a win. And perhaps one reason for victory, this man, new party leader and former TV journalist Mauricio Funes, who had no connection to the group in its days as a rebel organization. Now, U.S. President Obama assuring Salvadorans it will work with any leader elected. That marks a departure from the prior Bush administration, which in 2004 suggested that an FMLN victory would hurt ties to the U.S. Well, the only possible segue now from victory to icky. The courthouse in St. Pölten, Austria, the setting, swarms of media on hand for what promises to be a headline grabber of a trial. That being for Josef Fritzl, charged with fathering children with his captive daughter and murder. The 73-year-old, well, somewhere behind this blue binder, pleading guilty to 7 charges of incest and also not guilty on charges of imprisonment and murder. Mr. Fritzl's defense? Well, perhaps he's studying it here very closely. His defense attorney, Rudolf Mayer, surely isn't, telling the media before the trial that he had, quote, no particular strategy, unquote, for the trial. The bizarre binder behavior continuing throughout the trial's opening day. A verdict is expected by Friday. Mr. Fritzl faces life in prison without chance of parole or binder. Well, lastly, longtime downloaders know that we like to add a dash of sass at the end. Well, not so today. Rather, we're closing with a funeral for an elephant named Subramani, a veteran of the Indian Forest Service of over 50 years. Now, it's a very simple ceremony, and we thought quietly moving. So here now, without narration, is a goodbye to Subramani from his colleagues and his friends. Well, that is your download. We hope to see you again real soon.